Got it? Hey, and it's finally live. So, hey, this is Aaron Karsten with Role Playing Public Radio, and this is another Patreon game. So, we are playing Delta Green, and the name of this particular scenario is Gone but Not Forgotten. So, today we have two of our returning players from previous games, Jack and Marco.
Hey
Hey,
there.
And before we get on to the one, guys, can you go ahead and tell us your characters, starting with Jack?
All right. I am playing David Black, codename Agent Trenton. He is a Marine intel grunt turned Hollywood A-lister turned FBI agent turned Delta Green agent. He's a character. I had fun making him, and I had even more fun playing him in Avatar War. And he's a little shaken up from what happened there, but he's returning mostly intact.
Yep. So, for those of you who have listened to Avatar War or not certain about that, he had a run-in with a artifact that tried to kind of it's like give him a little bit of a leg up, but not so much. And when he rejected that power, it took its toll. So, well, coming from, I'll get back to there when we do kind of the vignettes between there. And Marco.
okay. My agent is Harold McVinker, codename Agent Pulp, and is a special operator for the FBI. Is kind of not a trusty guy. He's so much shit that is kind of always on edge.
Okay, so he's just kind of a little bit more nervous around when he's around other agents or people.
Yeah, he grew up like a conspirational theorist. He got his job and he discovered that he was right.
Okay, so that there were actually things lurking in the shadows that you're not really supposed to talk about anymore. So, well, and in this case, that definitely that's a benefit for you because you don't know who to trust on the instead. So, so basically, where you're both starting. Let's see. For this one, where are your both of your home bases at right now? Because I believe Trenton, you're out of DC, right?
Trenton is actually operating out of Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, thank
He
you.
has a
So
beach
yeah, I forgot
house in
that.
Malibu, and he works
Absolutely.
at the LA FBI field office.
Okay, and Harold, where are you operating out of?
You were from the San Francisco office.
San Francisco. Okay, so you're both on the East Coast. Well, that is actually one of the reasons that you
East
were both.
Coast, West
Sorry,
Coast.
West Coast. So I don't. Welcome to me sleeping today. So, so you're both on the West Coast, which is actually one of the reasons why you're tapped for this mission in particular. Report has been given in through ACEL. That's like particular an issue of grave robbing up in the Portland area has been called in. It normally that would be left to the local authorities unless there were more issues of possible what we see as cult activity or possibly larger hate crimes. But this one is coming up a little bit odder for a couple reasons. One, the grave that was disturbed is of one Alex Shelton. He was an aerospace engineer consultant for Boeing up in Portland, but more importantly, he had actually provided intel and analysis information as a Delta Green friendly a couple years ago on a that's like on another mission, one that they were investigating a company that he had been in connection with called Severin Aerospace. So, what I'll need to do from both of you right now, can each of you roll luck and let me know, roll luck, are you choosing high or low?
I actually need to get an online dice roller going, but I
Okay.
will choose high,
Okay.
and that's just a D100.
Yeah, that's going to be percentile. Yes.
All right, 38.
38. Okay. And Harold, what'd you get?
Okay, give me a second.
Okay. And one thing I regret is that we no longer have the dice stream app in here. That was taken away.
Mm.
Okay. I choose high
Okay.
and 91.
91. All right. So Harold, you are actually the one. It's like you actually worked with Mr. Shelton, gathering information from him. So you do. It's like you have a little bit of knowledge of who he was and how he operated. More or less from your memory, he was just kind of a fairly straight-laced, down-to-earth engineer. Didn't really kind of stand out from the crowd that much. But you It's like you did know one thing I will say you'd notice from this is that he had a pretty noticeable tick, though. Anytime that he actually was pressed for a lot of other information, he would that's like usually have a fairly pronounced stutter, but he got it under control and explained that that was something that he had dealt with since childhood. So, but as for this, he is that's like, but unfortunately, he has passed. That's like in the passed away 6 months ago, and everything seemed to be normal with that. It's like with his burial and what Delta Green could see, that he ended up he was consulting on a particular with the development of a new thruster for Boeing. Went into the wind tunnel to take care of something, and it went off accidentally, throwing him up against the wall and giving him a severe. That's like severe laceration and concussion around his head. It caused it's caused an aneurysm, and he never woke up. So that
Right.
was
What a lot.
yeah. So, but after the investigations both sided, it was determined that it was completely accidental, and nothing seemed to be completely out of the norm. Until again, 6 months later, that's like with this, he actually found out that people have been trying to get into his grave. Uh, the local landscapers found that his grave had been disturbed, where it appeared that the grass above it and some of the topsoil had been removed from what looked like a camping spade. Nothing really big outside of it. They thought, and they thought it was maybe been just kids who were coming around trying to screw around with graves or maybe somebody who got drunk and thought they could actually dig all the way to a grave and then gave up. But then they kept finding other nights where they were that's like the same amount area was disturbed, only for it to go only about maybe 6 to 8 inches into the ground before it looks like whoever was there gave up. Once this happened, they went ahead and obtained security camera footage during the gates and found one person that they identified in relation to us, Carl Adams, who was another consulting engineer over at Boeing with Alec, seemingly wandering into the area, taking that's like going and presumably going to the grave and then wandering out about an hour or so later, right before sunrise. So, uh, and once they've also looked at the footage again and seen other people who are going through that that's like they have identified as other people almost tangentially connected to Shelton. It looks like these are people that were either baristas that he knew on a regular basis, a couple people at a local restaurant that owned a couple restaurants outside of Boeing, and one person who was looked like to be a personal escort, so that had been
Hmm.
around. So, but all of them have been questioned. The only one who is in holding right now is Mr. Adams, since he is not. That's like had a more. It's like a closer connection to Alex Shelton, and is being held at the Mercy's. That's like Mercy Psychiatric Hospital, just within Portland, Oregon. So, you two have been called up in order to investigate the situation. They want you to not only look into the situation of his grave, but see if there are any other personal effects or connections around the area that may be a possible link. As far as the agency knows, he did not have any other DG links or access to it's like restricted information that should have compromised him as a friendly. But if there is anything that he did have or was hiding, the agency would like you to find it and discreetly remove it. So,
All right, can do.
all right. So you have a couple of other options first right now. First off, they would like you to go ahead and interview Carl Adams. Uh, because of the issue of the grave robbing, you do have this from local reports that the it's like the authorities actually have contacted Alex Shelton's ex-wife, Haley Carlisle,
Okay.
in order to see about, since she is his closest living kin, to see about possibly exhuming the body. But calls have pretty much gone dead from her, so she has refused to give anything. She has refused to give any kind of permission to exhume his body, and she is not currently right now is out of town, although her residence is within Portland. So if you were wanting to try to finding information there, you can possibly do that as well. So, also, you do have access to some of the other people over at Boeing, and they may be able to provide records. So, the only thing that you were given from this information is that this is still off the records work. As far as they're concerned, you can use your IDs when necessary to get information, but they ask you not to do it too much in order to prevent suspicions from being arised. And if there are any altercations using your service weapons, they will information will be disavowed. So you're told to act carefully in accordance. A green box can possibly be provided from you, determining the severity of the situation.
Okay, so just to make sure I understand,
Yes.
if we have to use our service weapons, then we're pretty much going off the reservation. Is that correct?
That is, it will be frowned upon.
All right.
So it is if you can if a defense is necessary, it is encouraged that you find another way, possibly other than what the weapons that you have, since those can be tracked.
Okay, so use clean guns.
Yep. So,
All
and that one, like I said again, a green box can be provided for you, but that's going to be more of a requisition.
righty, sounds good.
All right. So, all right. So where are you guys starting out?
I vote that we head to interrogate the gravedigger, Carl Adams.
Okay. All right.
The friend. Okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Can we get some information about what he did for Delta Green going up the chain, or is it impossible?
Well, you actually worked within that one, so I would say, let's see, what skill? It's been a couple of years though, so you may have a hard time remembering that one. So
I'm really intelligent.
yeah, so I would actually let me look through your skills just to make sure we have that. If that was going to be a SIGINT or for this, I will actually say this is outside of Delta Green, so go ahead and just roll an intelligence score,
Yes.
your intelligence at 5, and let me know what you have.
Okay. Wait. Nope. Oh, yes, 56 is a yes.
56. Okay. All right. So you got that one there. You remember from the case files you were working on during that time that Alex Shelton was specifically asked to look in. You brought him in right now to look at specifications for a type of thruster. It was that's like for aerospace, actually to bring up a satellite into orbit. So, but more importantly, that's like he brought to your attention the information about one of the modules that was actually on this. It was actually part of Severn. It's like Severn Aerospace, which unfortunately you do not have the clearance to be able to look into that information. But the underlining issue was that it was basically pumping out a signal that, if put on wide scale, could have may have caused either hallucinatory or that's like any kind of unnatural psychosis within population that received it. So that was the primary reason why he was brought in as like you were brought to his concern.
Okay, good.
So unfortunately, it's like fortunately through your methods and your work on that, the satellite was delayed and eventually just put on the back burner. So again, you both may have had that's like concerns with Severin, but that was also something after that time the threat was done and you just moved right along because you were supposed to protect everything. The more, and you've been taught, the more questions you ask, the more trouble you'll be in at some point. So they'll ask you to do that. So, all right. So any more questions or other research you want to do before heading over to Carl?
Nothing for me.
Okay.
Okay. I want to do some research about Severin Aerospace, like trying to lay low without. Yeah, shit. Do I have
Okay.
something about computer science?
Okay.
No, I suck at that. I basically only can use Google.
Okay.
Google Severin Aerospace. Shh.
Yeah. I will say that how much did you fail by?
I don't know what should I use. If it's computer science, I have 0. If it's
Okay. Let's see. For research into
human
this, actually, I will say that you can roll military science on that.
Oh, good. Okay, let me try. 44.
44. Oh, critical success. So, all right. You get a couple things outside of this one. With it. One of those being that Severin was primarily known for being in that's like in league with a British, actually what was known as the British side of Delta Green, a organization named Pisces. They did very much a similar work as Delta Green back through the 60s, through the early 60s through the 80s, uh, but had a lot of that information has been basically quietly put down over the years. Severin, in their case, was a lot of military operations with dealing with thrust engines for jets and also aerospace. So they were looking for to set up their own burgeoning space program. The thing about it is that they ended up using materials that were deemed extremely unsafe. And from the little information that you can now glean because of your critical success, without getting caught from this, the redacted reports that you have from DG pretty much only mention severe mutations and something about possible mind control. So it does not go for much further into that, as again, most of this is redacted, and this is about as much as you're probably going to get before somebody comes around looking to see what file you're pulling up. So,
Good.
all right. So, all right. So you got that information from that on. Anything else you guys want to look at before going?
Nope. I'm
Not
fine.
me.
Okay, so I'll say that you're both one car right now. So since the company, since you're kind of traveling low key on the company for that, you will. That's like it takes you about a day or so to meet up and then head up the coast to Portland. So when you're going, again, we said before he is located over at Mercy Psychiatric Hospital, just a little outside of mainly Portland in one of the other suburbs. Which let's see. Well, the other times I should be a little more prepared, but let's see, a suburb of Portland. Well, Portland. We're gonna say that that's in Sherwood. It's over in Sherwood,
All right.
or that's like Oregon. Um, the information that you would have before there is that since this has happened about that's like since it's a couple weeks, Mr. Adams has been there with observation. So, as far as you know, he has no family outside of that's like that, a local to Portland. Uh, and the doctor reports that you have there actually state that he seems to be quite lucid and has had at least no particular issues with what they either night walking or sleepwalking or trying to become aggressive towards staff or other people during it's like that's like during your stay or once the introduction of SSRIs were given.
Okay.
So that's and the other thing of that is he still has no memory of any kind of issue where he would go out to the graveyard and start digging.
Okay. Can I roll bureaucracy to get a kind of a personal history, work history, any kind of files on him?
Yeah, go ahead and make that roll.
All right. 56. Fail.
All right. No. Unfortunately, the only thing that you have close for him is the fact that he was working as a consultant for Boeing. I will say that you, it's like, how close was that to your failure? Let me take a look at your character sheet.
41.
41?
My bureaucracy is 41.
Okay. I will say that the one thing that you do get out of that is that it's like the consulting company that he is working with, Flight Tech,
Mm-hmm.
is that's like is that is the information that that is the actual consulting company that is working with Boeing that was hiring him out. So you might be able to get some information from them, but we don't know how. That's like without any kind of higher bureaucracy or fast talking, you might not be able to get much from them.
All right. Okay. Okay, then I just make my way to the hospital and ask to see Mr. Adams.
Okay. Receptionist up the front just looks at you. May I ask you? That's like the visitors and your relation to the patient.
Uh, hmm.
So,
There's
and
nowhere.
if you need to talk about your entry strategy with them, go ahead with each other before you can. That's fine. So,
Okay. You said we wanted to keep badge flashing to a minimum, right?
yeah, that's like it's mainly that you can use that, but it's just at your discretion. So, just remember that it's more kind of like a heat tracker. That the more you use it, the more that it's likely somebody else will come looking for you
Right, right.
if on your side. So you could use it at your discretion.
Okay. I think, actually, I think flashing a badge would probably be the best way to get in there. So, what do you think, Marco?
I don't know. I honestly didn't understand if it was like committed to the psychiatric hospital or he went by himself. Like,
This would be committed because he was arrested out once he was identified coming back from the by the cameras at the cemetery. They brought him into custody. So once they were able to identify the fact that on the gravestone and on the site that it was his fingerprints, and that he was able, and he was the one that was actually visiting Shelton's grave the most.
I don't know. Yeah, slashing the beds is probably the best option.
All right. So
don't
I,
have another idea.
all right. So I just flash my badge and say, we are federal agents who have some questions for Mr. Adams.
She looks up for that. Let's see. For that though, she looks around saying like, certainly. So, is it's like I can get the doctor for you if and he can explain anything from there. Let me see if he's there. She gets on the phone for a second and turns around, and then comes back. Yeah, if you would like to follow me, I can take you over to. I'll let you name it. What is our lead psychologist name?
Blackburn.
Blackburn. So, all right, I can bring you over to Dr. Blackburn's office. So, you follow me. She leads you down the hall and then takes you over to a non over to the side to a nondescript office that says Dr. Cheryl Blackburn.
All right.
And a woman who another woman who looks like she's about in her late 50s greets you at the door. Comes in, gentlemen. Welcome. Thank you. It's like sorry. Thank you for it's like thank you for checking in with me. What may I ask is the bureau's interest in our patient?
Well, we are let's see.
What?
How can I bullshit my way through this?
Like I said, give me the story, and also, do you have what's your persuade at, by the way?
My persuade?
Yeah.
It is at 70%.
Okay, so go ahead with the story. Just what is the story you can concoct to get through this? So,
All right. Well, I just say, Dr. Blackburn, thank you for meeting with me. Unfortunately, I can't tell you too much except to say that the Mr. Adams and the individual whose grave he was trying to, individual he was trying to exhume, are both persons of concern to the Bureau relating to past conduct. I keep the lie vague, basically. Keep it vague, keep it broad.
okay. So, all right. So, just outside of it, this is some certain interest right now. So, I would say with that, all right. Actually, you have a 70% on that one, so that's not going to. And this is not under a stressful situation, so that's no roll off. Oh, if I understand if there's a pat. It's like I understand if there's some sort of matter of national security. I know that he and Mr. Shelton both worked at. That's like we're working Boeing, which is probably a military contractor. So, um, are there any? I can let you go into his room, right? I can take you to him in a visitor's room. He is that's like been very very calm for the last several days. In all honesty, if I had not seen him in one of his uh, that's like diluted states, that I would almost assume that this person has had little to no psychological issues other than a mild depression.
All right. You mentioned diluted states. Has he been in one of those states since he was admitted?
Well, when he was brought in, the first day we was not showing any other symptoms other than just extreme confusion, but decided to decided to voluntarily go with the hospitalization as opposed to any kind of jail time, so we could examine him. The first We thought everything was fine until that first night, where it seemed like he was in a fugue state where he was on that's like he tried to that's like bash down his door. We had orderlies come over to help assist him back into bed, which that's like they were managed to do that, but he just kept hitting, almost trying to rush out of it. And the minute he was restrained, that's like went into a fit. We had to sedate him. So after that, he woke up with no memory of the situation whatsoever.
All right. Before we go in there, is there anything else you can tell me about Mr. Adams? Anything unusual coming to mind? Anything that may help us with our questions, with our line of questioning?
Nothing else that I could. Nothing else outside of just the general. That's like just his general demeanor right now. Unfortunately, I would not be able. That's like due to HIPAA right now, unless you have an absent warrant, I will not be able to give you any other. It's like full information off of his. It's like off of his patient pro. It's like patient chart, but you're free to question him. So as long as you are keeping it within favorable tolerances and not overly stressing him.
All right. That's understandable, Dr. Blackburn. Thank you very much.
All right. No, thank you.
Ms. Blackburn, I have
Yes.
a last question.
Yes.
That fit you were describing, it only happened the first night. It didn't happen again.
After the first night, we went through that's like we decided instead of just constant sedation to see if he would respond to certain SSRIs, and he seems to be doing quite well at the moment. So no complaints of dreams or any night terrors or none of the sleepwalking that we had observed previously.
Okay. Question out of character.
Yes.
The extra 20 point, can I put it already in Humint or Persuade?
Let's see. Oh yeah, if you don't have that already, feel free to put that in there. So
Okay, put them in Humint, just to be fair. So Humint would be 15 instead of 30.
So yep, no, that's no problem. So
Okay.
and are you wanting to do a roll on her to see if she's lying or not, or?
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
thought about it, but yes.
Okay, go ahead.
53. Yeah, I don't read shit.
All right. So, and actually, I will actually take that back because I keep forgetting we're not in a stressful situation. So, actually,
Okay.
you just look at her right now, and nope, she's completely, as far as you can tell, Dr. Blackthorn is telling the truth. She has no, as far as she can tell, this was just this is a random situation that she probably finds fascinating and may actually want to author a paper on. But you would just guess by her. You would probably just guess by her own professional demeanor. But otherwise, this is probably nothing out of the norm that she's seen for a lot of other patients at the moment.
All right. I do have one last question for Dr. Blackburn,
Sure.
if we have time for it.
Yeah.
I just approach her very candidly and I say, so Dr. Blackburn, based off what you've seen so far with Mr. Adams, what is your professional take on the situation?
Well, to be honest, just from general observation, it looks like in all honesty, at that point, he was suffering from some sort of disassociative, that's like disorder. The moment when he was in that fugue state, he seemed very, very different, especially for the fact that he is completely unaware of it.
Okay.
So that it was almost like another personality it had taken over. But this is exceedingly odd since that's like from the look of him, he's again this gentleman is 35 years old, and again no other significant that's like mental health issues other than potentially mild depression as far from his other doctors as far as we can tell.
I mean, he's an engineer. It's understandable.
So that's like it can be, and there have been other situations where again that's like certain issues may have gone undiagnosed for years. However, uh, That's but I don't we don't really have a full on that's like record of him as of yet to really make that determination. So this is at the point where he is currently in protective observation until we can determine that.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, if you don't have any questions, I do have some other things to get to. So, she politely excuses herself. So, and the nurse who was with you previously, guides you down to a small, guides you down to a small, a small little meeting room. So, it's just so it's like several. Look, honestly, looks less like probably what you would see as imagine as a psychiatric hospital of white walls of just very tastefully appointed. It has furniture that's actually bolted down into the walls, so people can sit comfortably. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. There is a camera off to the side just for what you would assume would be patient protection.
All right.
So, working from that, you wait there for about 15 minutes, and then Carl it's like Carl Adams comes in. Again, he's like very nondescript, 35-year-old male, about 6 feet tall with slightly receding hair. You see his eyes; they look really tight. They look not sunken, but just they have heavy shadows around. They're like he hasn't been sleeping all that well.
Right.
So, with it's working from it, but he seems to have a normal gait and reaction, and just walks in and sits down. Um, Hello. How are you?
All right. I stand up, shake his hand, and introduce myself. Mr. Adams, I'm Agent Trenton with the FBI. I have some questions for you, and I would like to make a humans roll.
Okay. You can go ahead and do that. So, Harold, are you also shaking his hand as well, or?
I'm shaking his hand. I introduce myself. Good morning. I'm Agent Harold McVinker
Okay.
from the FBI.
All right.
And the
So
human was a success at 42.
42. Okay. So, yeah. In this case, it's also yeah. Just if you unless we're in like in a particular fight, don't feel like rolling. Just let me know. So
Okay.
what you're doing. So you're doing human on there. Uh, and let's see with it. Harold, you have an alertness of 60, right?
Yes, and I'm also looking like for trace of something weird on his wrist and neck or something like that.
Okay.
Because it's been restrained, so if it has something weird related to that also.
Okay. Yeah, human on there. So it's like Trenton, what you can tell right now from that once you shake his hand and take a look, you don't see really anything that would portray him it's like portray an ulterior motive from him. He shakes your hand, he just feels and looks like he's really, really tired. So that he has again hasn't either been sleeping for a while or is just wondering why we have yet another line of people that is questioning him because more than likely in addition to the cops he and the doctors he has had the cops questioning him and he's probably had other psychiatrists questioning him, so he's been through a lot of that. So as far as you can tell you don't see that. Harold, since you're the other one who rose that, you notice that when you it's like when he shakes your hand, it's almost imperceptible, but you see it grip just a little bit harder. You just feel it on your hand before he lets go.
Okay.
So then he sits back, but then he sits otherwise outside of it. And you don't see any other what would appear. That's like you don't see any other action that would appear either hostile or aggressive from him. So, but he sits down. What can I tell you?
Well,
Do
let me think about where to start.
you remember anything about what happened the night you get arrested? Anything at all? What you were doing
Well,
for that?
oh well, if I'm getting into semantics, sirs, I was actually arrested at my home. So that was
Good.
they brought me in saying that I was first being taken in for grave robbing, which I can't really ever see myself doing because I have a pretty big phobia of germs and bacteria. So dead body. Yeah.
I understand. Dead body is
So
gross.
so
Yeah.
uh, with that, see his fist ball up just a little bit. But no, what they've told me was that yeah, I had been apparently for several nights going into going to a grave to take it out.
Do you
Do you know
have
who's in that grave?
About this, yes. Alex Shelton. He was a coworker of mine, so I didn't know him as personally, so as a lot of other people, but I did work with him specifically on the satellite thruster project where he died. So at this point, you see he's just kind of rubbing his hands back and forth a little bit further, so nervously.
Okay.
the project, as far as we know, is related to the Severin aerospace inside of Boeing? It was a project related to them, or
For this one actually, sorry for that confusion. What you worked on actually was a past project. This one was just new. So
no, I know. I want.
yeah, separate. Oh yeah, separate. So go ahead. But yeah, that they were one of our contractors before they ran out of money. So they kind of just tanked underneath right now. I think they have like some small businesses, but they're no longer a Fortune 500 company, if that's what you're asking.
No, I was asking if like this project was a legacy project of something.
A Severn. No. It was this was just one of their new. It's like one of the other pet projects that Boeing has around with 500 different ones with trying to get more. It's like more power out of the engines that they use either for NASA or for commercial jetliners. So part of it, what we were working on was fuel reduction, fuel efficiency, seeing if we could actually bump down the necessity of certain fuels for overseas flights, since that's going down pretty like we're eventually going to run out of any kind of fossil fuel. So yeah, for that. So I would say, Harold, you can notice this too, and then I will allow a rolled version for you, Trenton. But Harold, he's staring at you pretty heavily and starting to sweat.
Oh shit!
So so in this case, Trenton, go ahead and roll alertness.
All right. 8.
8. Yep. So yeah, you notice that this entire conversation so far, his view has just been completely on Harold.
All right. That is pretty peculiar. All right. Carl. Is it okay if I call you Carl, Mr. Adams?
That's fine.
All right. Okay, Carl. Could you tell me about your relationship with Mr. Shelton?
Well, he pretty much again was just a coworker, so we didn't hang out much other than just the couple of company functions that my consulting the consulting firm did with it's like his, because we were all just we're basically brought in as freelancers. So we had a couple drinks, but that's like before we've talked about some other thing. It's like just things that we had before. Uh, as I knew that he had an ex-wife, so talked about her a lot, and what he considered to be regrets.
All right. So you wouldn't consider him a friend or
An acquaintance more, I guess. I didn't really see him outside of that too. I think we did like one kind of game night when that's like they were doing like an I guess inter extra company mixer, trying to get people hooked up with each other. I guess that was one of those things that for the dating types. So I got roped in to that. I remember Alec being pretty separate on that, but
all right. Is he
working out.
still mad dogging Harold?
You notice that, yeah, he's still doing that, and he's starting to rock back and forth just a little bit.
All right.
So
When did he start that? When I mentioned Severin or before? Well, when did I notice it?
that you notice that yeah, once you mentioned Severin, the ticks became a little bit more became a little more pronounced. When Trenton was asking him more about the relationship between him and Alec, that started more of the tick as he's going through, and you see that his fingers are almost kind of going through rituals, that you see that he's kind of going through, and his hands on the table just kind of flexing in and out, balling it into a fist, and then releasing his fingers, almost like he's digging.
Did it start stutter also, or just the movement of the hand?
It's just the movement of the hand. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's not that. And I will say that from your alertness skills in this point, since what you are both seeing, and human into, he's not. It doesn't look like he's aware of it, that he's even doing it.
Mm. Can I ask him, Mr. Adams? Can you tell
Yeah.
me something more about previous project that you had, like with Boeing and Severin Industries?
Well, Severn, we're pretty much the flight systems where Severn's I don't think we did much with them too. Just maybe just a couple of flight data. It's like flight data recorders is the main thing that we went through them. Working out from it's like maybe a couple of it's like a couple other transmitters that we're thinking of. Just oh god, I'm really sorry. Do you mind? I'm really thirsty. Do you mind if one of you gets me some water? And there is a like a cooler in the side of the room that's bolted down.
Sure. I stand up and go and get Carl some water.
I'm
Okay.
ready for him to jump on me just in case.
Okay. Well, in this case, that's going to be the reaction of that. So go ahead and make your alertness roll there, Harold.
Okay. 22. Yes.
Holy shit. So, okay, then you actually get a reaction of this, because the minute that Trenton stands up, Carl just launches himself over the table at you. So you get you actually get a reaction off of him. So I'll say you don't have to spend anything on the dodge. So, but what are you doing?
I'm trying to grab him and restrain him on the floor. Like
All right.
putting my
Okay.
knee on his back.
Okay, so yeah, so you don't. I'm not gonna make you worry about the dodge on that. So that is gonna be a grapple. So let me take a look at the rules on that.
Right.
For let's see, we are pinning. You're gonna hold it's like you're gonna hold a pin target down on that. So and that will serve kind of as a defense roll for that. So I'm gonna say roll strength times 5.
Okay, it's 65.
I would say normally I would say this is unarmed combat, but you pretty much have it in here. So and he
Yeah, 28.
28. Okay. All right, and peak crit failed. So on the opposing one, so you have him down on the ground. In this goal, you have him basically down on the ground in a hold. So he is struggling. And as you were sitting from there, he's just moving back and forth. His words, his voice is almost sounding not of his own. So it's just sitting there. It's almost sounding less of like the hit of his, and more like he is deliberately lowering and rasping his voice to almost where it sounds like a buzz.
I know it's a really stupid idea.
Okay, well,
I'm trying to understand what he's saying.
Okay, so you're gonna listen in on that one. So we'll go ahead and do that. Trenton, what are you doing while he's?
I am rushing over to help Harold pin Carl down, and I'm just hollering for security.
Okay, so I will say that there is actually an it's like an emergency button. So if you want to hit that, you can. So
right.
And then you can go in there. So it's gonna take a minute for you to get there.
Yeah, let's hit that.
So but the minute that you but while you're doing that, Harold, you get your face down to him. I'll say you have him coming like a supine hold, so on the ground. But the voice that's coming out from there as you are listening in, just is starting to repeat different words. It's just buzzing. Dark. Can't get out. Can't breathe. Can't move through the dirt shell, keeping me. That's like in. Get me out. Get me out. You know me. You have his memories. Get me out.
Shelton, is it you?
Just the moment that you do that, you stop, looks over, and you see his eyes lock through there, but his pupils are completely dilated. You, it's like, you know him. You have a connection. And that moment, he's going to try to break out again. So this is going to be another opposed roll for grappling.
Okay, so it's still strength.
So at this point, yeah, so we're going to just go on strength. So you have that powerful one.
Okay, yeah, 73.
All right. So, all right. So at this point, he is on the. It's like, yeah, you still have him on the ground. He is at a 84, so he just barely failed, and he's on the ground thrashing, and it's going to get continuously harder at a +10 from here. So, if you're holding him by yourself, you have 2 more rounds to keep him down. If not, it's like, if not, then you can get Trenton to come in there and help. So.
Yeah. I call Trenton to help me, and I continue asking question in the line of, Shelton, tell me more. Where are you? Why you are there?
So at this point, he's just thrashing around. He keeps repeating the same thing about dark, trapped, it's like rotting, horrible. It's like he's almost just out, and you see him. It's like where his hands are, or at least you have him in there. He's scratching them so fervently now, and it's a tile floor that he's actually has managed to pop off a couple of his nails, and he's just bleeding freely on the floor now. So for that one, I will say go ahead and both of you make a sanity check, at least against the violence. So
All right.
Okay.
I
Whoa.
18. I succeed.
okay.
30. I succeed. I wasn't expecting it.
All right, so good. All right, so you don't lose anything. You've seen worse, but this is still pretty damn severe. So, but about that time, you see that that you see the orderly detail is getting ready to come in. They are unlocking the door. That's the last thing goes through there. So, let's see. Oh, have you defined who are your bonds, Harold?
Oh, my bond
Yes.
is my wife, Mary Longfield, and my old college friend, Peter Quayle, that now work at the IRS.
Okay. All right. So, all right, and you said Mary Longfield, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, the minute. So the orderlies get in there. You see, actually, Dr. Blackburn is with them, ready to. And it's administering a sedative, which almost takes a complete effect. She's looking at Trenton like, what happened?
Your guess is as good as mine. He was mad. He was calm when he came in. When we came in, then he got real fixated on Agent Harold here, my fellow agent. Then I got up. He asked for a glass of water. I got him. I got up to go to the cooler, and then he just launched over the counter and went Cujo on him.
Jeez, I was afraid of this. We're gonna need you to stay here and fill out a full report for this. I will need all your names. I will need all your information, and including that for the superiors, because if these had this bad of a reaction, I want to make sure this is not a continuing issue. So I will ask you not to, like to restrict your visits, at least for his benefit.
That's understandable.
That's
Um,
understandable.
So as he's pulling up, last thing you see from that, as he's being brought out, it just looks like you could see the sedative taking effect, but he looks back up at you, Harold, and
Course.
just straight at you. if you don't get me out of here, Mary's going to, that's like rot too. Go ahead and take another sand check.
12.
12. All right. So I will say that is at least 1. So you 1 sanity loss on that.
So now I'm 39.
39, yeah. Because you made that, but how the hell did he know her name?
Did, as far as I remember, did Alex Shelton knew about my wife at the time?
I would say that you remember during the visit, since it was about a month long. It's like work. It was a month long when you're going through, but you compared notes about at least relationships, and you remember that you at least mentioned Mary in passing, probably
Okay.
just as the relationship. And there is no way in hell that this guy should even know who that is.
Okay. But the other one should. Okay.
So, well, the man who is dead in a grave. So
that want to get out, yes.
that could be an issue with that. So, all right, but at that point they close the door. They let you go to another room where you can at least write down information. So, to take care of that with it, let's see for this. Are you actually providing truthful information or falsified information?
I'm providing falsified information.
Okay, so for that one, depending on what's going through here, what is your criminology rating?
My criminology rating is, let's see, 51.
51. Okay, go ahead. I will say this is just right out of the stress right now, so go ahead and give me a roll.
All right, be good to me, dice. 94. The dice were not good to me.
Okay. Yeah, you realize that this is probably not going to be looked over in any way, shape, or form, but hopefully you're kind of hoping that maybe somebody will overlook this if it's not too bad.
Well,
So with that as well. But yeah, that's unfortunately all the information you can give out to Carl right now. But he has given you at least. It's like you realize that something else is possibly controlling over both of these. That's giving control over him as well. The one thing that Dr. Blackburn, I forgot, I remember I wanted to let you know, I was putting in the report that he's the only one who's had a reaction like this. The others seem not to have as well, and have just been, again, more what you consider right now is probably more tangential connections. So, somebody with so if it's somebody with a stronger connection, that might be but somebody with an issue or somebody who is at risk. So, and you have a couple other people to kind of go with it. You have Haley Carlisle, who is who that's like is his ex, who is Alex's ex-wife. You do have you also do have the cemetery itself, which you can go to, and you have information through Boeing or any other options to look at as well. So, I'm going to take just a quick break, and I'll let you guys decide where you want to move next. Okay.
All right.
All right. Be right
Sounds
back.
good.
so
I think we should get to a green box and see if break into Carl or Haley's house is an option. Because, like,
I agree with that, but you remember that there were like other people that were going to the cemetery, and they were like loosely related with Shelton, right?
right. But we don't know who those other people are, do we?
Well, we kind of know. We know that there were like someone that was working. We didn't have name, but if we can check probably the file of the police, we can find something. In particular, there was one escort and another guy that was working at the restaurant. So if we get them and we try to repeat 3 times, severing to see if they get crazy after restrain them first, to see if like a common connection or is just this guy.
I'm not sure that will glean anything useful, though. Like, what is...
I mean, Sheldon was working on this like whole project related to mind control and mutation. So my hypothesis is there is some kind of mind control that was still in the machine that is keeping him alive in some way, and the broadcasting on all these people that were visiting his grave without knowing it.
Okay.
So if we can get another connection, another antenna, and see if the thing is active, then we can go back to the cemetery or his ex-wife.
All right. I thought we try to find out, like we try that hypothesis out on one of the people who went with Carl to the cemetery, and then we find ourselves a green box, get some weapons, clean weapons, and
Find the
go-
green first. This guy already attacked us, but as
Alright.
the second move, we can go like second.
all right, and then we I don't know. I'm still leaning heavily towards investigating either Haley or Carl's place of residence. I feel like we'll get some more clues there.
Okay, let's go with the place of residence, because as far as I understood, the wife was out of town, so it would be difficult to pin her down or something. So she's not around.
Right.
So we try to break into his apartment.
Right.
Okay.
Or
Sorry, I'm back. So, all right, it sounds like you guys have a pretty solid plan of attack.
Yeah, we I think the plan of attack we decided on was to get ourselves to a green box, get some weapons, get some clean weapons, and investigate. Her name was Haley.
Yeah, Haley Carlisle.
Investigate Haley Carlisle's apartment for anything that may speak to why, like any clues as to what Shelton was working on that might have induced such a heightened state of mind control in Carl.
Okay.
Oh, right. One question. When you
Yeah.
say that Ellie was his ex-wife, it was the ex-wife before he died, or is his widow?
Ex-wife. So they actually were married for about 2 years prior to his death, and divorced then on irreconcilable differences.
Okay, so maybe it's better going to his apartment instead of hers first.
Okay, yeah, let's
Okay.
do that.
All right. Well, so you do have his apartment on there as well. Though it would, it's like that information. I would say that's just general just general investigation. He is, since he died 6 months ago. That has already been cleaned out and leased. So there is somebody else, and it's like, so there is actually another family living in there at this moment.
Oh,
So
Okay, why?
well, it was an apartment building, so it would have already since he no longer owns it, that would be already leased and done. So
oh, okay.
so
Yeah,
you could try to get in there and investigate, see if there is anything that he hid in there. But that definitely would be breaking and entering.
Can we try to convince the landlord to ask if he left something, or probably his wife already had it?
Yeah, if you want to make that call. So I would have there. So I'll say that you can call the apartment complex. You get just some general manager, Steve. So
Hi, Steve.
so yeah, it's like, yeah, what can I help you with?
Well, we are with the FBI. It's like a case related to one previous tenure, Mr. Alex Shelton.
Yeah, I think I remember the guy. Yeah, that's like he bid it, didn't he?
Well, we know that he's died like 6 months ago, so it's kind of it's kind of a try more than anything. But by any chance, did you find any box or something of his personal effect in his apartment that we can look at it, or if you know who got those personal effects?
Honestly, I that was supposed to be handled by his family. As far as I know, that's the normal procedure when we got a death here, except when they don't have anybody. So as far as I know, that was taken care of, but I can't really give that information. I can't really give that information out over the phone or towards somebody because I know you just said FBI, but you're not here with a badge in front of me.
Oh,
If you got a badge, you got to show it to me. You got to tell me you're FBI.
okay.
That's a rule.
Are you a
Even
cop?
if you're undercover.
You have to tell me if you're a cop. Okay.
Yeah. The joke lives.
So yeah, I can show up and try to meet with Steve. Hi, Steve. I'm here now. Here is the badge.
Okay, so I will say, yeah, you can just make that call if you're wanting to go there next. So, although I will say that we'll just go from here. What's your, let's see, what was your persuade? It's 20. So,
Yeah, but I'm really likable.
well, go ahead and make a roll, see if you can get that.
With likable or persuade? Wait.
I would say this is persuade. So, although if you're
I,
likable on that, that's a little bit off. So, I'm willing to actually give you at least a plus 20 on that.
okay, roll 1d20. Hi, Steve. I have 84, so I'm not particularly likable this time. Please, please, please give me stuff.
Look, yeah, you can come here flashing a badge or whatnot. I got teenagers who are going to be able to do that right now. I can't. If the apartment's in there, I can't let you in there. Sorry, man. You're gonna have to find some else with that. So
Okay.
Steve's not letting you in on that point. So if you want more information from that, you're gonna have to find another plan area of attack. You can choose to get into the apartment on your own. I will say that information that was public, going from where he did live in public records. That's not too big of an issue. Um, but he also did mention. I will say the freebie you can get from there is that you did mention in the conversation he was mentioning that if they did not have any local family that was taking care of that, that usually is put into storage somewhere. So
Uh, I don't know if Agent Trenton is better than me. We can check like the public record or like his will to see if some of his properties were in the area for like a extra green box or something like that.
okay, so possibly. So what skill would Trenton would you possibly be able to use to go ahead and investigate that?
The first that's coming to mind is bureaucracy.
Okay. So, all right. So how? It's a 10%, so it's kind of a slip. So how are you figuring out what's your
Trenton's is
bureaucratic?
41.
Oh,
Trenton's
Trenton is
bureaucracy is 41.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
10% is Arab.
I'm sorry. I forgot. I have yours. Sorry, I have two. I have a tablet and yours in front of me. So, all right, never mind. So, all right. So, how are you trying to get a hold of that information?
Just what am I looking for again?
For where his item either a way to get into the apartment or where the items were stored when he died.
Basically, if he has a storage box or an extra green box that is off the record.
And just to let you know, in the canon is a friendly. He would not have that because he is pretty friendlies are not full initiates into Delta Green. They're just people that they are used for information, and if they are subjected to more of the mythos, sometimes they will be pulled in as full agents.
True. Yeah,
So.
you're right.
All right. Well, if he was storing it somewhere, someone had to pay for it. So I think I'm gonna try and pull up both his, and he has no family other than Haley, his ex-wife, right?
That is correct. Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna try and pull up both his and Haley's bank statements, credit card statements, etc.
Okay.
You want me to roll?
No, that's actually that's a good explanation. So, and you're not under stress. So, all right. So you pull up that information. That's actually going to take you, I'm going to say, the rest of the night. So you guys have a hotel available, but you look around and you see that once he passed away, he Haley was taken as full was actually still listed as his beneficiary. So, and it looks like she opened up a storage. It's like a rental at a storage facility across town. Let's see, which is still still within one of the other Portland suburbs, and has been just regularly paying it for the last. That's like since his death, so 6 months ago. So either she probably has not decided what she is going to do with it, or is possibly keeping it for sentimental reasons.
All right. Well, we've been going around flashing a lot of badges lately, so I vote we break into that place on the down low, possibly after hours or something. Can we scope out the place first and see what kind of security it has?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that, but also remind you it's pretty late. You're already pretty late in the night, so you can do that. But that will actually you can continue to work through the night, but that's going to be at a constant. Yeah, you're going to have to make a Constitution roll to not lose any. That's like a lot lose any will for that. So because that's tiring work, and you're not if you and unfortunately the FBI are not machines. So
Right.
so
Would there be any penalty if I just like went to sleep, like tucked in early, went to sleep after I found out that stuff on the credit card report?
yeah, like I said, yeah, I would say because it's taking most of the day, so it's in the evening now. So no, there wouldn't be any penalty if you went to sleep. So
All right, then I'll do that.
okay, so Harold, are you going to work through the night, or are you continuing to? Are you choosing to go to sleep?
Oh, yeah. Wait. Maybe it's better checking the storage room at night because there is nobody around. It's night. Probably.
That's true. That is true. So if you want to go ahead and scope it out, that's you can, but you will have to roll Constitution to make sure that you aren't losing any willpower. So
Well, we can try and sleep till midnight, till noon.
okay, so like I say, if you want to pick up the next day and then like scout it out and then do an overnight one, that's always a possibility. So
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
all right, so we'll do that. So all right, we'll go to sleep. Harold, give me a luck check, and let me know high or low. Well, are you doing high or low for this?
Hi.
High. Okay.
Shit. 4.
4. Okay. So you go to sleep, and your normal dreams are usually just kind of the indistinct every day. Right now, nothing big, but you but you don't recall ever being very claustrophobic. Whatever this dream is, wherever it is, it feels like you're curled up into a tight ball that, like, you put yourself in the fetal position, but you have no way to get out. And everything around you smells of decay and blood. And you have it's like, and as you are going through, it's just you hear a pounding, and and you realize that's coming from your own heart as you're so tightly wound in. That's the only noise that's coming through there, and it feels like you can't draw any breath. And the only thing that you can really do is, if with a lot of strength you could pull around your hands and start clawing, but it feels like you're over no, it's like you're not making any room, even though you're just surrounded by this what appears to be black tarry decay all around you. You can't see anything. It's horrifying as you're being constricted. If you weren't claustrophobic before, it almost feels like you should be now. So so go ahead and make a sanity check.
Of course. Oof. 75.
75. Okay, that's not a critical failure though. So
That's it.
all right. But go ahead and take 4.
Peter Quayle. Peter Quayle. Peter Quayle.
So, and you're not to your breaking point yet, correct?
No, it's 32, but I'm trying to project on my IRS friend.
So, okay.
Nobody's
Alright.
more dead than someone that work at the IRS.
Okay, so you're gonna project on one of your friends at the IRS. So,
Mhm.
all right. So you're okay. So, what memory can you destroy to basically help mitigate that damage?
When we were camping together in a really like small tent, and I had him close to me. So I tried to remember having something when I was in a really tight situation close to me. So I'm trying to say, well, I'm not alone. I have someone in my life. I have
Okay.
people.
All right. So you're just kind of projecting onto that too. So all right. Go ahead.
1d4, right?
Yep, you can do that. So go ahead and mark. I would say mark 1 point off that. Take another
And
roll.
I roll 3.
3. All right. So gain 3 points back.
And I remove 3 points from Quail and Willpower, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Not willpower. You just you will remove 1 from willpower since you're using it to post right now, but remove 3 from his bond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, because you're using willpower to do that, but the bond is what suffers in this case.
Oh yeah, I thought that I removed the same amount to both. Okay, better.
I don't think. Like I said, I might be wrong on that one because I'll
No,
check.
no, I'm totally fine with that. It
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
we'll roll with that too. I'm sure somebody will say I'm wrong on that. So, but we'll go
I'm
ahead and do for that.
that. Don't worry.
All right, but you see that's relaxing you in the case. So I will say that at this point, so that kind of ends your relaxing back into the point here. Let's see, Trenton, go ahead and make an alertness roll.
All right. 88, fail.
88 failed. Nope, you sleep through the entire night. So I will say that Harold is the first one to wake up when your alarms go off, and you're actually out of bed. You see that you have that's like that you're actually near the door of your hotel room, and it's like it's like you look down and you see that both of your knuckles and like the ends of around the nails, kind of where the cuticles, are scratched up. Not terribly, but it has caused a little bit of bleeding around that's coagulated at the edges of the cuticles, and a little bit that it's transferred off on the doors.
We're talking about Harold, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Can I look if I have like some kind of sand or hurt under my finger?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You look and there's nothing there.
Hmm.
So this is the only thing that you have. Actually, the only thing that you have near the cuticle is just a splinter that came off the door, a paint chip from the door itself.
Oh, okay. So I couldn't get out of the room.
Nope. It looks like you were sleepwalking, trying to get right out of there.
Okay, I turn to Agent Trenton and I say, I think I got Edge of Tomorrow. I'm the new antenna.
Oh shit.
Yep.
That's my first reaction. Oh shit. Um.
All right. Well, if you do that, go Trenton. Go ahead and make a sanity roll.
Sanity roll. All right.
Both of us or just him?
You know what's happening to you, and you kind of. I would say you did that from your dream and process that. Trenton has not. So
22, critical success.
you know what? You had a coin in your arm. You don't give a shit. This is nothing. So you just this is fine. This is good. This is like what you're trying. You have a bad dream. Where you're trying to dig your way out of an imaginary grave. No, you're cool.
Suck it
This
up,
is good.
Buttercup.
Exactly. So all right.
Just so I understand this correctly, so far Trenton is supposed to like brush this off as brush this all off as like it's nothing or something.
You made a critical success, so you gained no. You had no sanity loss from that, so you choose how you react.
All right. Well, truth be told, I guess I am a little worried. Would it be possible to call up ASO?
For this one, probably not, because if your understanding, ACEL is to be called when things need to be set on fire.
Okay.
And it's
Don't want to-
and usually that means that something has gotten out and needs it's like and it needs to be taken care of immediately. Have you not set it on fire? Why is it not on fire yet? So
I don't like
but
to be set on fire. So
yeah,
no.
but you do have Delta Green resources, so if you want to do some sort of like preliminary research, you can. You just may not get a lot out of it, depending on what you what you're looking into.
Yeah, let's do some research on just what the hell is going on here.
Hmm.
I want to know more about this satellite thing that can control minds, because now I'm a bit concerned about it.
Yeah.
Also, the storage. I want
Okay.
to do the storage as soon as possible now.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and make that roll for any kind of research, and then you guys can make your plan of see about your plan of attack for the storage facility.
Still military science because it's the satellite or something else.
Let's see. Well, I would say yeah. If you want to for Delta Green stuff, so I will allow the military science for this time, Orion. So since you were it that, go ahead and make a roll on that one.
16.
16? Okay. Yeah, you don't really get much out of what you remember, at least from other case files. A lot of this, there are records of other people who have had kind of like waking nightmares or potential control issues if something were to be projecting that control over them. But it's usually once it's at that point, there is some entity or there was something else active that could possibly do that. As far as you know, it's nothing else that's in there at this moment. So, or any kind of record that's showing a correlation. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, this one is not going to be as much as you hoped to be for
Okay.
that one.
Yeah, no problem.
So the only thing that they put on there, the recommendations are, is that if that is the case, you might want to take some heavy sleep aids to make sure that you're not getting up in the middle of the night. So that's about it.
Do I need to roll for anything?
For that one, I would say no. Or in the research, what are you wanting to look up? So anything else outside of what Harold looked up?
Um, are there Delta Green files with uh, detailing anything similar to Harold's condition right now that I could look up?
That one. Go ahead and roll your go ahead and roll your bureaucracy.
All right. 8.
8.
Yep.
Okay, so the only thing that they had similar to this one appeared to be actually it was one record that seems to be another very, very heavily redacted one, but seems to it's like reside around an agent who met up with a member of Pisces of back within, I believe the date on that was like 1973, and noticed that they had behaviors that were switching off. It seemed to almost have a personality shift, where at some point they would be on task, but if they, that's like every once in a while, it seems like they were not paying attention to what they were doing at all, or seemed to be in severe mental pain while they were talking to themselves, or possibly moving their bodies in a way that was not seemed to be forced when nobody else was around.
Question: would it be in character for Trenton to know about like the Sean takeover of Pisces?
That no. So
Right.
no, you would not have. Unfortunately, you would not have that information. So
Okay.
that is cowboy era, and that shit is locked up tight. So
Okay.
Okay, last question.
yes.
As far as I knew from the previous operation,
Mhm.
it was some kind of satellite signal that was hacking the brains, right? As far as I know.
That's what was suspected.
Okay.
So that was what was suspected over there. So that's why you were brought in for investigation, and eventually why this project was put on the back burner.
Okay, so I have a MacGyverish thing to do during
Okay.
next night.
Okay.
Some kind of Faraday cage around my head. It can be like the aluminum hat from Conspiracy Theorist or something similar to try to
Okay.
break.
So you're gonna try to tinfoil something.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So all right. So we can put that we can put that definitely on the idea. So I like that. All right. So at this point, you do have the address of the storage facility that you have there. I'll let's see. Let's look up another Portland. Let's see it. We'll just say that this is in West Lynn. So this is out out in the suburbs for Portland, and for that, you can see it's actually one that's actually a little bit more secured because it's actually built out into the hills in this area. So they actually carved out a particular area, poured it with concrete, and then set each of the metal storage lockers within it. So pretty well storage set up there. As far as you can tell, this is where from the records that you brought, this is where Haley brought everything else in. She's in Unit 223. It is not monitor. It is not live manned. So it looks like it has a keypad access, and looks like all of the storage facilities right now actually have large deadbolt locks that are attached to them.
All right. That
Yeah.
keypad is going to be tricky.
Well, we can.
So, so if you want to monitor it for a little bit, you can to see if anybody comes around. But usually, there is like a little kiosk for somebody if somebody is manning an office. But from as far as you can tell, it's one of the areas where you just come in, drop your stuff off, and then leave.
I can see any camera or so around there.
Yeah, that would probably be a let's see for that. If you're wanting to look, that would be either military science or I would say SIGINT. So.
I go with military science 80%. Do I have to roll or?
No, you don't. So, yeah, that I would say that would allow you to go ahead and see it's like every camera that's available there. And from here, this one's pretty well. It's like this area right now is pretty well. It's the only thing that's. Excuse me. The only cameras that are there are around the main entrance. They have a couple along the back fence where it's not actually built into the hills to see where if somebody's going to try to jump the fence or possibly cut an area. All of it goes over to a large large connector box that is on the side of the office kiosk. So
Can I
easily.
Can I
Oh, go ahead.
stealth my way around, avoiding getting all the dark spot of the cameras till I reach?
Okay, so you're trying to wander see if you can wander in the blind spots of the camera. Okay, let's see if you're doing that. That's going to be. Oh, I don't think there's stealth is no longer a thing anymore. So, where am I? Let's see. Pursuit, investigation.
Athletics.
Yeah, I'll actually use athletics for that. So, what's your athletics at? 60. So, I'll say that actually, if you want to get around those blind spots, you can do that with the military science and athletics because this is not a secured facility. It's just a It's just a U-Haul storage facility.
Boom! I saw it snaked out of the situation.
Yeah. So you're lucky if the teenager who actually is supposed to be in the kiosk is there at any given moment. So, with working from there, so yeah, you have the pathway in. You can get it. I'll say you can get in there and over it's like over the fence it's like easily. There's no problem with that. So you have your way in for that. Let's see. It is a deadbolt too. So Trenton, do you have any suggestions on getting through that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying if you had any suggestions, were you going along with Harold to go ahead and take and survey the storage facility?
Yes, I was.
Okay. So, like I said, Harold pretty much has the cameras marked up in the blind spots, so you can get over there if absolutely necessary. So, any suggestions that you have for getting into it, or not, or helping not leave a trace?
We are breaking in after hours, correct?
Yeah. So this is basically just your initial surveillance of the facility to see if you have a bonus.
Let me see. Let me see if I have. Well, I have in my inventory on my sheet, I listed a small evidence collection kit.
Okay.
I don't have any suggestions as to how to bypass the cameras, but when we get to that keypad, would it be possible to dust for prints?
Oh yeah, so if you just want to get that, yeah, that's not a problem at all. So, and that's well within criminology. So yeah, you can get any random code off of that now.
Okay. Should I roll?
No, this is not under combat, so I'll say that if we roll anything, that would probably be when you're actually there. So, but I like that suggestion. So,
Okay.
and then if you have the evidence collection kit, you don't need anything for bolt cutters. So
Okay.
it's not going to be on there. So, all right. Sounds like you have everything on there as well. Are there any other calls or connections you're wanting to make before before moving out?
We need something to force the lock, and probably we were discussing going to the green box.
Okay, so I will say that is either that's going to be a bureaucracy roll just to see about what you can get or what is available on this time. So go ahead.
Trenton is the good one at this. I suck.
All right. I'll roll.
Okay.
34.
34. All right, that's enough. They actually look off of once you give the proper information and clearance channels, they say, yeah, this is we feel that this is at least worth looking into just to make sure that there's nothing there. We will provide that one will provide you with at least 2 9mm that will be at your disposal. One shotgun to please do not all numbers filed off. Please do not use that if necessary. We will also provide you with it's like 2 sets of mild body armor, if absolutely necessary, and any other basic tools that you would require. So please don't look through any of the other information. And if one of the boxes is singing, that is completely normal.
Oh yeah, natural.
So with that, so yeah, you actually have that, and that's an easy acquisition. So you have everything that you need from that one. That's not a problem.
Okay, so I need a picklock kit.
Yep.
And some mild explosive.
Explosives?
Why are you needing for the explosives?
Well, you never know. Like for the cemetery in the future, you never know. Like,
okay. Well, all right. Well, I will say this is you've currently been cleared for this amount of information. So if you want something, that's going to need to be a persuade check.
I'm going to persuade my way. Well, explosive might be useful to enter in place we shouldn't enter to. And I don't want something big like a bomb, just some small C4 that does the poof.
All right. Yeah, that's persuade at base 20. So good luck.
Oh, I have to roll? Okay, let's try.
Yeah, if you're wanting explosives, that's a roll.
18. Yes.
18.
I don't know how. Yes, I don't know how, but I convinced them.
Okay.
You really need explosive.
Yeah, your handler actually gets on the phone and is asking for specific reasons why you need any explosives.
Well, as I said, it can be useful in this situation. There are locks that cannot be opened with the pick lock, and I'm pretty sure that we need to dispose of the body in some way, and explosive might be one of those ways.
Okay, so all right, we'll go with that. It's like with that one. So you were given one very 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 small brick of C4 and told not unless you are being digested. So not unless you are literally being eaten, and that's the last thing that you are going to do.
We can dispose of the body equally well with some gas and a book of matches.
That's true, but in this case, thermite. Yeah, so it's going between that, but you have it in this case. So, all right. Okay. So you have anything off of this? Let's see. So is that all of the equipment that you both need or want?
Agent Trenton is a happy man. He is
Okay.
perfectly fine with the 9mm, the body armor, and the shotgun.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see. That will be I will need for both of you athletics rolls to make sure that you keep within the blind spots.
No, athletics.
Yeah.
77, critical fail.
Shit.
So
One. Critical
one.
success.
One. All right. So yeah. In this case, Harold, you pretty much are the knight. You manage to go through there. Yeah, Trenton. Unfortunately, as you're walking through, you end up tripping over looks like there was a skateboard that was left over by one of the skater punks that was using the lot in front of the storage facility as an area.
Damn skateboarders.
So, but you don't see anybody else, but you're pretty sure you got caught on camera. So that it's like that may be a problem later on.
I brush it off and try to act like I belong.
Okay, so working out. All right. Let's see. And then the other thing I need from you is a criminology plus. We'll say a criminology plus 10 since you do have the kit with you to see if you can get into the code.
84.
84. All right.
That's
a
yeah,
fail.
that's not gonna work. That's
All
fine.
right. Yeah, that does not go through at all on this one. So, if you're wanting to, yeah, this it's like you can just go. You do have bolt cutters, so you can just cut right through that fence and give it a whirl.
Screw it. Let's go with the bolt cutters.
So, all right. Or do you have any other suggestions, Harold?
I only have the C4 and I'm in front of the storage room, so no problem. Unless you want some C4 to explode the fence, I'm waiting.
Let's at least try to be stealthy. Save the C4 for some other time.
Aww.
I can hear the disappointment in your voice. Oh my god.
Okay. All right. So, but yeah, you cut right through. You find the storage facility. You open that up. You open it up, and you see that inside is pretty much nondescript items from that's like Alex Sheldon's life. He just appears like every one of his like TVs, desks, other things. But you do see several boxes going through there. So that's like several boxes going through. So you can. I'll say both of you. Harold, your search is a 20. What's your search at, Trenton?
50.
50. Okay. So for the between you, both of you, you actually do pull up the information. You do pull up different pieces of information from what looks like should have been just his work files, with different different little schematics, diagnostics, test reports. But from each one of these, you actually see that it looks like it's almost been in two different sets of handwriting. So, one on the setting of the calculations from there appears to be just general. It's like a normal, very flowing cursive writing, and the other one along the margins too, almost seems to be in a harsher written. It's like almost a written tone that he's just scratching it in. And most of those, and from those ends, when you look at it, each one of those just kind of keeps scratching over and over and over again, saying, uh, complete the plan. That's like open the pinhole, complete the pan, open the pinhole.
Oh shit.
The more I delve into this case, the more I start thinking that we should just cut the knot and use Harold C4 to blow the shit out of that body.
See? I got the C4 for a reason.
So, all right. That's at least the possibility. But yeah, you know that this was the very, very interested over there. So, but in this case, Harold, go ahead and make an alertness roll.
Okay. Shit, 68.
68 just on there. It's about that time that you note. No, it's like that. You only notice the presence right as of somebody else behind you, just in the last time to turn around and see that they're already there. So, unfortunately, Trenton, since you did a crit fail on that, you did not see around the person. You did not even register the person until
Wait,
Harold
when
was
did I
already
crit
turned
fail?
around. This was for your crit fail on your
Or
for your security roll.
Oh,
When you're
okay.
sorry, your athletics when you're trying to get past the cameras.
Okay.
So, excuse me, I believe this storage facility is already closed. May I see your keys?
Badge.
You went out. Sorry.
Then I believe I have no other choice but to call the authorities. So, and he starts walking away. It's just very
That-
slowly walking away, though.
That's interesting because we are the authorities.
Here we go, flashing badges again.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Well, I don't show the name, just the badge. Try to covering with the thumb. See, FBI agent. Oh no.
Nice to meet you. So, we have that the figure just looks over you at you again. So, and now you actually get more of a now that he's under one of the lights in the area, you see that he's pretty. He's actually a fairly tall gentleman. Honestly, about 6'5", very very lanky. That's just looking at you through some of the most dispassionate eyes that you've ever seen. Almost that like he was both studying you.
Does he look like a college graduate, someone that was working that job?
No, he looks like he's probably in his mid-40s.
Can I do a human roll?
Yeah, go ahead, make one.
All right. 59. I didn't fail a roll for once.
So let's see. What was your maximum on your human?
80.
80? Okay. Yeah. You notice something immediately, Trenton, that as he's speaking, it almost seems like he is controlling every single syllable that he is saying, that he is for every word that is coming out of his mouth, he is processing this like he is trying to slow himself down. It's like in order to basically make sure that you are understanding what you say, what he says, and it's very, very chilling to him. It's almost inhuman about how he is talking and observing you. So, go ahead and make another sanity check.
All right. 8.
8.
Yep.
Okay. So, all right. So you succeed on that. Let's see. You only take 1.
All
This
right.
is just something's really off with this guy, but you just can't quite put your finger on it.
All right. What does he look like? Like, what's his complexion like? Is he like, does he basically I'm trying to figure out if he's another satellite.
Okay, so if you look at his complexion, it looks pretty normal, except for maybe just being a little waxy, but that may just be because of the light itself.
What
So
about his eyes?
The eyes are completely focused, so it's the only thing that is different is that it's again the way he's looking at you. It's less looking. It's less seeing you as a person, and more as just almost analyzing, looking through you, seeing that you would almost look at it as you're seeing somebody who is analyzing you from head to toe. Or a
Okay.
better example of this would be looking at a subject versus
Okay.
as a person.
Okay, I tried to give a heads up to Agent Trenton to like with the eyes try to be ready.
Okay.
And I said, well, we are investigating a case related with the owner of the storage box and related to some agency called Severin Aerospace. And I look if he start grasping or jumping at me.
All right. For that, that's the alertness. That's not or human. That's not going to be any exchange. You see that there's no change on his face. I'm
Okay.
fully aware of what you're looking for,
Holy shit.
but do you know what you're about to uncover?
Well, I think I'm already too deep in this thing to back down now.
Agent McVicker, are you aware of aware or believe in any kind of flow to the events of your life?
Oh shit, he knows my name.
So go ahead and make a sand check.
Shit!
What'd you get?
18.
18? All right. Let's see about that. I'm gonna be on that one. That's only a 1. So with that, so you're still outside of that.
Okay.
And you, Agent Trenton,
Oh shit.
what are your thoughts on this? Do you feel that like the control that you have in this moment gives you certain freedom, or does it put you on a path that inexorably will lead? That's like lead you to things that you probably don't want to see.
I have no response to that. I just like keep my expression neutral and discreetly put my hand on the butt of my gun.
So it looks at you for the butt of the gun. I understand the reactions that those of you who see that's like want to pull back the curtain, or at least keep the curtain in place so that others cannot see, will have towards events like this. But I implore you that that's like to be able to not act irrationally and not to set the pattern askew. I can see things I can see further down the line and see the effect of those actions. And while it won't save you in the end, it will that's like if you cooperate, it will provide those around you with more time.
Cooperate how?
Leave it where it lay.
We can't do that. Sorry.
Why not?
You already entered my mind. I'm connected in some way.
So you are one vector that it is attempting to go through. But as
I
you've already witnessed, there are your own technologies or medication has proven effective. If you can put it aside and ignore it, then then the events will go into place. It will be it will have no other way to escape, and I will have the information I need.
What are the information that you need?
That is not that is not of your concern, and it won't
Bullshit.
affect anything and it will not affect anything in this time.
Bullshit. It's not of our concern.
Why you don't want to stop this virus or whatever it is? What are you gaining out of it?
As I said before, knowledge in the future when I that's like when I pull that's like when I decide to pull it from its prison.
I think you better come with us and answer some questions.
So I won't be doing any of that, but the choice is yours. You may and you may see it as necessary. So both of you make Constitution rolls
All right.
at a -15.
Minus 15. 34. So that is. I passed by 1 point.
Okay, so
I failed anyway because it was 60.
okay, so all right, so Harold, you are out. You just the minute he says that, it seems like you have a static that almost goes over your vision. You can't quite explain it for any other way. It's just that you blank out and you crumple to the ground. So, and It's like, and Trenton, you feel the same way of that, but at the moment you look up, it's like you can still keep some consciousness, so you were actually just barely holding on. And as you look up, you see the figure, but you don't at the same time. You see the man, but his eyes have rolled up in the back of his head, and behind it, uh, it the only thing you can describe it as what looks like a cone made of flesh with a singular eye that seems to be looking directly at you.
Oh shit.
The Great Race. Okay.
So go ahead and make another sand roll.
All right.
Both
Sand
of
roll
us.
for everyone.
Yeah, well, Harold did the good thing and passed out, so he's
78 fail.
78 fail. So all right, for that, go ahead and lose 2 and mark 1 on helpless because you could not move.
All right.
So the eye looks down at you. Your choices are your own. You have the ability to to choose your fate, which is the gift of that. My gift, my gift only puts me on a path where I can see everything from my creation to the end of my life. I'm giving you the option to be able to ignore this and extend that existence. Please make the wiser choice for your limited existence. And then it fades. The person that's like the human the person that you thought is the guy crumples to the ground, and as you pull yourself up since you're still conscious, you can see that he is obviously dead now, bleeding from the eyes in his mouth.
Oh Jesus Christ. Do I need to make a sand roll?
I'm not gonna make you one because you've already done you've had a violence before, so I'm not gonna let you. You don't have to do another one from that.
Okay.
You've had another one in this one, but
Okay.
but you realize that you have a couple problems here. One, your partner is completely out. You are in the middle of that's like a storage facility where you have a dead body, and where you've obviously broken in, and you are on camera.
Okay.
So
Oh shit. So Harold's out. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run over to him, shake him, try to get him to wake up. Harold, it's me, Trenton. Wake the fuck up.
let's see. Working from that, let's. Do you have what's your first aid skill?
My first aid is base, so 10%.
10%. Okay. Go ahead and make a luck roll. Choose and what's your high or low?
Uh, high.
High. Okay.
42. Oh my god. Oh, I should have gotten
Yeah, that unfortunately is in there. So he is not there, and it's about that time where it's like you can you know it's going to be bad here. So there's only a matter of time before somebody probably comes around to sees the break in and reports in. So how do you feel like so what's your solution on handling this?
Uh, I put Harold over my shoulders in a fireman's carry and proceed to get us the fuck out of here. However we came in, whether that be by car or we got here by
Okay.
car, right?
Yeah, you have a car on the other side, and I'll say that's a couple blocks away because you would have parked it to. I'm assuming you would have parked it to make sure that it wasn't seen.
All right. So I fireman carry Harold over to the car, put him in the back seat, drive over to the hotel, and um, just shit. I can't put him up in the hotel. People will start to ask questions as to why I'm fireman carrying like an unconscious guy in there.
I was literally drunk.
Okay. So, all right. So you go out there. You're just locking down for a while. So, Harold, that probably gives you enough time to recover. You don't thankfully have any strange dreams like you did before, but you wake up feeling like you pretty much got hit by a truck. So,
What the fuck just happened?
I fill him in as best as I can as to what happened.
all right.
And I asked the second question. Did you get the papers, the schematics?
That would be another luck check. I'll allow that one. High or low?
Who's going to roll?
I will actually say, in this case, Trenton, you already did that. So, I will say, Harold. Let's see you make that roll. See if you actually had it on you.
Hi.
All right.
52, yes.
All right, good. Yeah, luckily enough, you had that in a messenger bag before you booked on out of there. So,
Yeah, okay.
but so you have that information, but it's about this time you get a call on your secured cell phones.
Okay, we pick it up.
It is your local handler. I'll say, oh, give me a name of a handler. Who is your handler here in Portland?
Webster.
Agent
Okay.
Webster. Okay. Would you like to tell me what the hell is going on?
Yes, we very much would.
Okay, then I'm waiting for an explanation.
These are there.
The best way, well, when you put it like that, we actually don't know what the hell is going on.
The only thing that we know is that the target was probably a vector of something, and we met with some interesting guy that tried to dissuade us to get to the origin of this kind of virus.
Okay, so you're thinking it's a virus.
I think not exactly a virus. I think is something related to transmission of information. And I think that there are antennas and there are sources. And our guy was the source.
So we need to blow up his body with the C4.
Yeah. We have also C4 here.
Excuse me?
Well, we think that what he worked before for us put him in contact with some kind of signal. And now is broadcasting those signals to many people.
So you're suggesting that there's something alive within this, within this body that is controlling other people?
I'm not saying that is alive. I'm saying that is a signal that is broadcasting. Is information. Not sure if it's alive.
Okay, well, I will say that I'm glad that you brought this information and put this on here, but we still have the other issue that you have made yourself known in the area. Not only that's like through that's like the hospital, but also from the fact that we have that's like we've been reported that there is a break-in that has your images on there. We can
Both of
try to
us?
So yeah, because they have for that you were going out from there, and when you're carrying his body out, that's it's a little bit harder to get that through there. So
Okay.
you're carrying somebody else out, so we have one face and you carrying another person out.
I
Please
have no recollection of that.
Oh, sorry.
I have no recollection of that part. Sorry.
Well, regardless of the fact is that you both have been seen, and now that there is a body on the scene as well, which means that's putting your prime target, you are going to have to get the hell out of there.
All right.
We will be we will be producing a cleanup team to try to go in there. But this will be a full debriefing at this point, and there will be a lot of questions.
Okay, so you're pulling us out?
This at this point, you are too hot to be able to do this. So you need to be you need to stay low until we're until we are ready to pull you out. Is that understood?
Understood.
Understood.
Okay. So thank you very much. You close. Shuts off the phone. So with this, you've been given your orders. They kind of think you screwed the pooch on this one, unfortunately. So
Blame the dice.
Yeah, within that one. So at least the decision: are you going to follow directives and wait for the cleanup team, and the other, and your warning, so to speak, or are you going to? It's like, are you gonna make another decision?
Well, I would like to make a. Would it be possible for me to make a retroactive human roll?
What are you wanting to make it for?
I want to like use it to make sure, like, did Webster sound like he was uh
Self.
under control, under like being mind controlled or something like that? Did he seem off or strange?
Let's see. Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. So,
All right. 89. God damn it.
89. So not as far as you can tell. This is actually pretty standard. So, this is pretty standard fare in this case. So, excuse me one moment. Kids, don't drink water while you're talking. So, excuse me. All right. So you have that information. You know that you're supposed to at least stay still on that. But I will bring up one other one here for you, Harold.
Mhm.
So you know that you have that. It's like this is in here too. You have probably enough information to be able to save off of it. Uh, well, actually, I'll say for this both right now, Harold. You know that you have a direct line to this thing,
I know.
and there's no guarantee from what did. And I'm assuming that's like from what you so from what you've seen. And then Trenton, are you sharing uh what your other guest at the what your guest at the storage facility said to you?
Yes.
Okay, so then you know that this is basically something that's giving you a warning to be able to do from this, but you know that it's like you at least are at risk right now. And also, I'll say also, Harold, uh if you're disclosing any of this over to Delta Green, which they probably are going to be very insistent that you say everything before you're let go, that there may be an interesting future for you that you're not really that happy about.
I don't like to be put on fire.
So,
So,
not so much fire, but the career is probably on a hold while you sit tight in a military hospital somewhere.
yeah, don't like it either.
So, all right. So, I will be right back, and I'll just let you guys make your decision. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. No problem. Talk it over.
So,
I think we should. I don't like it, but I think we should follow directives and lay low.
that sounds like a plan, but otherwise, we can try to dig it out, blow him up, and see if everything ends with that. Nice and clean. I cannot bring it with me if you don't want it, because, well, it's my head that is on stake here.
Right.
But destroying the source might stop the signal.
Well, if we do, if we do decide to go down that route, I think Trenton should go at it alone, because Harold is compromised by the signal. So weird shit might happen at the graveside if we bring him along.
I mean, I can try the makeshift hat to block the signal. Probably doesn't work, but it might.
All right. So, what's your guys' plan?
Our plan is that we're stuck deciding on a plan.
Okay.
We can't decide whether to lay low or just to use that C4 to blow that body to smithereens and hope the signals fade out with it.
Okay.
So my idea was going there, dig it out, explode it, where the crazy guy had to try to block the signal, and not asking necessarily to Trenton to come with me if he doesn't want, because my head is on the stake, his career too, if he comes.
Okay.
So,
So for this one, and if I will put this forward, you don't have to act together. You can act it separately, depending if you feel that is. So you can play this out.
I know, that's why I was saying that in this case, it's not convenient for him. It's kind of convenient for me.
Okay.
Is there any? If Harold go, I will ask this out of character. If
Yeah.
Harold goes it alone, is there any way Trenton can provide support discreetly from a distance?
For that, let's take a look and see. Because what was your weapons list that you have?
I have my only ranged weapon is a Daniel Defense M4A1 in my agency car.
Okay. Well, I'll say you have the agent like that. I'll say that's the car that you actually brought in. So, you can do that. But that will be kind of interesting to see how well you can get that overall. So, if you decide it's a risk that you're taking, but you might be discovered. So that's up to you.
If you
Okay.
can, and if I go a wire, shoot me in the head.
All right. All right. Fuck it. Let's blow this body up.
All right.
I'll take the shotgun. Harold will take the C4, and we'll just go on. We'll just go full cowboys.
Just full cowboy. All right. So,
Always go full cowboy.
all right. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and bring that up there. So, you have just loading up all your equipment from there. Well, that's like it will take you. It takes you about 30 minutes to get out of there. I'm assuming you're waiting till evening.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
until that, let's see. The cemetery is
Also,
closed.
just to be sure, I'm not wearing the body armor, so if he has to put me down, it would be easier.
Okay, so all right, no worries. So
But
you're bringing that one in. So all right, let's see. We'll go ahead with that. So once you get to there, the gate is closed. So, but both of you can. Both of you go ahead and make alertness checks.
All right. 27.
Yep, okay.
61, yes.
61. Okay, yeah, easily. So once you go in there, you actually see that there are marks because they, well, on both sides, the actual fence itself is actually a continuous laid stone block wall that goes up about 5 feet. So it's not meant to. It's usually basically not meant to really keep anybody else out, but who should be wandering through there. But both of you do see that there are multiple scuff marks. So wandering about each of the fences that look fairly fresh. So so if you want to, you can jump over the. That's like you can jump over the fence itself and leave the car here.
Fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so.
Also,
All right, so I will make you. It's not you're not undercover, so at this point, so athletics checks, you're making it through there. Let's see, and for this one, oh, there's the stealth one. All right, Bullet, you go ahead. I'll say you don't have to make awareness because as you're getting closer, you knew where the grave was. You can hear activity. So, go ahead if you want to get up any closer right now. That will be a stealth roll.
All right. I roll for stealth.
Okay.
30. I make it.
Okay.
Oh no!
So-
Wait.
Oh no.
My stealth is lower than I thought it was. It's only 10%.
Okay. So you don't make that on there. All right. Do you roll that as well, Harold?
yeah, I got a 4 and I have 50% in stealth.
Okay. So here's what you're seeing as you're both getting closer in that. You see that that's like as you're getting up there, we have full moonlight shining down, and you see three individuals One of those, actually, one of the other ones, being Carl Adams. So either he was released or was taken out. You're not sure, but probably having the doubts because it looks like he still is in hospital scrubs at this point. For what he always had, but they all appear to be around the body, just continuously, madly digging. And so,
Yep.
as they're going through, a couple of them appear to be another person who, a young woman who's probably in her late 20s, and another, that's like another middle-aged man. So, who are just digging frantically at the That's like at the body, and they got and from looks of it, they're actually pretty damn deep in there now. So it almost looks like they're probably at the point where they're about to hit the coffin, or at least the case around it.
All right.
So
Can I
with that,
try
and
to
so once you've gone through there, uh, sorry, Trenton, you step up behind them, and as of course, right now you end up miscalculating where you're stepping and knee right into a headstone.
All right.
So, which causes you to have a little sound, but all three look up. All three, you see their heads kind of pop up from where they are in the grave itself.
Okay. I just raise my shotgun and yell out, "FBI, get on your stomachs! Do it now!"
So, they look over to you, and all of them. It sounds like they're buzzing. It's very, very It's like very, very unnerving that they're not using any words, or that's like this. And Charles picks himself up, spade in hand, because it's just looks like he actually has another one of the travel spades, and starts making a beeline for you.
Okay. Can I shoot him?
Yeah, that's a choice. So it is a shotgun. It's probably gonna be very loud. So
All right. Well, we're already well off the reservation. We can't make this situation any messier than we already have. So, fuck it. Let's shoot him.
okay. So go ahead and make it. He's quite a bit away. So go ahead and let me take the shotgun on there. I think that's mid range. For that, yeah, that's going to be within his right now. So go ahead and make a shot on that.
All right.
Firearms.
84.
Let's see. And what's your firearms rating?
My firearms is 50.
50. So that is a miss. So that ricochets off the round. Going through. Right. So that is for your action. Harold, what are you doing?
Okay, they're running outside of the grave toward me. Or...
The other two are still in the grave, seemingly frantically just digging up as much as they can. Carl is the only one who is currently charging you. So outside of that, so Trenton missed. So you have an action on your own.
Can I aim to the leg of one of the guy?
Yeah, you can do it. If you're doing a called shot to be able to take that off, that's going to be at a -20.
Yes, but I'm aiming this round.
Oh, you're going to take the run to aim? Okay. You can take that one to aim, although he will probably be in melee range, so that may be you have that risk of possibly hitting your partner in the next turn. So, but that will give you a bonus if you choose to do it.
Wait, not card. I'm going to the one that are still in the grave.
Oh, so you're trying to aim. You're trying to aim one of them with their heads popping up. Okay. So, yeah, you can take this turn to aim.
Okay, not at the head. I don't want to. I want to incapacitate them.
Okay. Well, that's basically what is showing it where you're angled at is right out, because the other two are basically in the grave, almost at the coffin itself.
Okay.
So, so if you want to move in to basically incapacitate them, you have to move closer to the grave itself.
Okay. Can I get then a stick or something like an arc combat and aim for the head?
Yeah, you can do that. So
I'm going with that one, something that is not lethal.
So you're just looking like for a heavy stick or something, or a rock on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's easily found. You found that. That's no problem.
Okay, and I get closer and aim to the head when they're distracted.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that's going to be you're still trying to get them up there, so that's gonna be another stealth check to get past them. So and I will say that yours held because Trenton is the only one who messed up his stealth check.
Okay, so another stealth. Shit, 53.
53. Okay. Let's see. As far as you can tell, they haven't seen you, so you get up close right there, and we'll get. But you notice your head starts getting a little bit fuzzier. So, and it feels
Yeah, damn it. Okay, it doesn't work, but
yeah. So you get the feeling on that one. So we'll stop. So we'll hold there for a second. All right, Trenton. So Carl is now going to be within melee range. So, but he's at a full one, so I'm gonna let you. You know where he was coming, so I'll give you a reaction to him before he has this attack.
Okay. Shoot him again.
Shoot him in the head. All right, go ahead and make a roll.
56. Oh my god.
56. All right.
How did I miss that?
So that was barely, but you did that. So, all right. Well, it may be really bad because he's coming in full force. He chose not to attack, not to dodge.
doesn't the shotgun has like plus 20% in close range?
Oh, you're right. No, that is actually that would be up. He's putting himself over in point blank. Thank you very much, Marco. I appreciate that. So, yeah. So actually, that's gonna hit. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. What's that? The
That's
1d
gonna that's gonna be 2d10.
2d10. All right. 2d10. 15. Holy shit.
And yeah, Carl just dropped like a sack of potatoes. So
Hit his off
he
switch.
got right back and he went he just went right down, so pelting in there. But now, yeah, this has gotten the other attention of the other two that are up front, and you see them. So it's like see another one start to climb out while the other one is again frantically digging. So, all right, the other one from here, Marco, sorry, Harold. So you see the other one getting out, but that buzzing is really getting loud in your head, and you realize that you're feeling, even though that you're in this open aired cemetery, you are feeling more claustrophobic than you have ever had in your entire life. Just completely closed off, and you need to break out. You need to really get on top of that grave and just smash it to pieces. Make a sanity check.
Oh, 34. I did it.
All right, good. So, all right, you're gonna go ahead and blow that off too, and I'm gonna say because of you doing that, it's like go ahead and spend another willpower. You've managed to pull from here, but from every it's like so every time that you actually make, you can choose to make it or at least push it through, but that's gonna be more willpower each turn. So, but you do have your action now. So, what are you doing?
I tried to incapacitate it with the stone the guy.
Okay, so you're gonna try to throw that. You're gonna try to throw that at the other guy who's running down right now.
No, the one that is still digging.
The one that's digging. Okay, you're in range with that. So, where's? I thought we had throw in here.
Throw is usually athletics.
Yeah, I thought we had a throw so on there. So yeah, that's gonna be athletics. So go ahead and make that roll.
Okay. 6.
6. Oh, yeah. So that's gonna go through. I'm not even gonna bother with a dodge on that because they are completely and utterly worried about that. So let's see. This is base damage weapon. I'll say that's a little bit on this. So we'll get at least 1d6. 2. So, all right. So you hit the girl who's still digging. It knocks her off to the side. She is taking. It's like she is taken aback, but is looking around to see where the stone came from, and is obviously confused. So we'll take that. So she's doing that right now. Back to the top of the round. So another guy is running down with his one lone weapon. Trenton, what are you doing?
How many guys are still up?
2, because Carl is no more. So
Mm-hmm.
we have Carl. Is no more. We took You have the one who's running towards you, and you have the girl that's actually in the grave that the herald is pelting with rocks.
All right, I'm gonna take the one that's running toward me.
All right, so are you just taking another shotgun blast?
Yeah,
All right, that's mid range, so go ahead and make it.
87. Oh my God, Trenton, get your shit together.
All right, so you're probably gonna. I'll say for this one, you probably have at least on the one before that goes through. So, yeah. So he's at another full run. So he's gonna try to come back and he's gonna run in and make an attack on you. And let's see how much he gets. He does not dodge, so it's gonna be full attack. And let's see, 32. So that will hit. And I'm going to say that this is at a. I'll say that this is at a. This is more a knight's. I'll actually be nice on this one. This is actually a knife or hatchet, so let's just say a spade. So, take one.
All right.
So, and go ahead and mark off a point on violence.
Okay.
So, since you have an insane older man who is now trying to dig into you literally.
All right.
So,
Gnarly.
all right. So that goes from that. Harold. So go ahead and make another sand check as that buzzing is starting to get louder in your head.
49. I failed.
49. Okay. So you can choose to project again because I believe you're getting pretty close to your breaking point, aren't you? Okay. Let's see what you have so far. So
I'm 37. 32 is the breaking point.
you're 37. Okay, I thought you were. Oh wait, you gained some points back. So all right. So you just lose one right now. But if you want to power through this one again, you can choose to hit the willpower
Instead of losing sanity?
Yeah, or no, this is actually since you're in order to move right now,
Okay,
you have to spend that willpower.
So yeah, I spend the willpower. I'm at 5.
Okay. All right, and what is your action?
I wanted to have the girl coming out of that, but I think that I'm close to my willpower breaking point, so I try to set up the explosive.
Okay, so you're trying to set up. All right. What's your demolitions?
It should be 40.
40.
40.
Okay. If you're trying to set that up to use it, so go ahead, make your roll.
Holy shit, 84.
Okay, so not a crit fail, thankfully. So, but it's going to take you at least 2 more rounds to actually get this set in there. So to actually get it ready to use. So,
Okay.
so it's still usable, but it's going to take you more time than do that. All right. The girl is still not noticing at this point. So she is out from there. All right. So back to the top of the round. Go back in. Trenton.
All right. I'm gonna try and hit the guy who's charging at me. I'm gonna try and give him some buckshot.
All right, so you're going to make another shot at him. He is definitely in point blank range, but this will be your last shot before you have to reload. So go ahead and make a. It's like go ahead and make your shot.
All right.
Plus 40.
46.
Right?
46. That's a hit. So let's see. He's trying to get maximum damage on you, so he's going to go ahead and still just go all out. He is not thinking. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll your damage.
2d10.
2d10.
All right. 6.
6. So he is not quite down, but he is very injured though. So it's like he is down on there screaming, trying to get back towards you again. So let's see. He's going to try to roll another attack, but this will be at a minus 20. Or plus 20, excuse me, on that one. And he fails. So he does not reach you at all.
All right.
So, which is working about that right now. So, but it's like in this case though, about that time that that static that you were seeing when you met your friend at the at the storage facility.
Yep.
That starts going through your vision again, except that the weird way is put it, it's not like you're looking through your eyes at it. It looks like it's projecting from the back of your eyes forward, like it's a film put behind it. Or if you ever
Uh-oh.
see like modded spots across your vision,
Yep.
it's kind of like that, but just all over the place, and you get the most intense of headaches. So, first one, go ahead and make a sanity roll.
All right. 31. I have
31.
been failing everything but sanity.
Hey, sometimes again we're on that one. So, all right. So for this one, only lose one.
All right.
So you've felt this before. You already know what this is, but you hear a voice in the back. This is a mistake. It's like interrupt the flow of events as they should be. Then it's like it will have dire consequences going not only for you but for your species down the line. I cannot, as I said before, I cannot guarantee your survival. Your doom is inevitable, but at least I can give you some time to work with. Is that not enough for you?
I just ignore it and I just ignore it.
Okay, you're ignoring that. So, all right,
Just grit my teeth and ignore it.
all right. Then I will say at that moment I have no choice but to take direct control.
Uh-oh.
So, and that's when you get one of the most intense headaches that you feel like you have ever had in your life. That crawls down your body and just seems like your veins are filling with fire. So, we'll get right back to you.
Uh-oh.
So,
This is not going to end well.
all right. So, with that's like with that, you have it's like with that, going back to Marco. So, you can I will actually give you this one. You can take a chance. You can either go ahead and continue just your working on that, because I will say that you in your head right now, you don't have to make a willpower for this one since you're so focused on that. But the buzzing seems to become louder and louder, and you realize that you're not hearing it from your head; you're actually hearing it from the gravesite. So, and it seems like the girl you hear her is trying to desperately pry the galvanized lid off of the coffin, is just screeching as she's doing it. So, you have the option in this case if you want to try to do another demolition to speed up this or to try to prevent her from opening that up.
Demolition.
All right, you're going to try the demolition again? Okay, go ahead and make that roll.
26. I did it.
26. All right. It is prepared. So next round, you will have coming up the next round, you will have the opportunity to drop that off if you want. So, all right, Trenton.
All right.
You are now fighting for
what
control of
new
your own
horrors await me this round?
mainly the control of your own body, which is a huge problem. So to be able to do that, I want you to make another sanity roll.
All right. 98.
That didn't happen. So yeah. So first off, we're gonna go with what is happening on that. 10 sanity.
10 sanity. Oh, holy shit.
As your body's here. So
okay, that actually pushed me past my breaking point of 52.
Okay. So yeah, so let's get that done.
Project the shit out of it first.
Yeah. So let's go with that breaking point. So you're gonna have to take it down and reset it to a new breaking point.
Okay.
So which will be 10 from that.
So 42?
Yes, 42.
All right.
So that'll work from where you have from that. And let's see. This is going. I want you to. That's going to be marking off another helplessness because you are unable to do anything by your body to take that off.
Okay.
So, and let's see. Oh, and cat, please get away from the dragon dagger. Thank you. So,
what?
sorry, it's like the cat. Our cat is. I took one of my displays down and she's nosing it. Like, please don't bite that. All right. So yeah, so this is definitely for the temporary sanity on that one, and also hitting the breaking point. So at this point, I will say for yours, since you're trying, this is kind of more in your mind in this case. But are you fleeing, fighting, or submitting?
Trenton's a fighter, so fighting.
All right,
the
so
way.
you're fighting on this point. So in your own mind, you're basically just raging and screaming against that. All right. And for the disorder, so let's see. I'm gonna say actually pretty easy. Dissociation disorder is gonna be in your future. So
Oh shit.
with not being able to know who you really are in the moment. So if this is somebody else, but I will say because of this, you do have the chance to push through if you're wanting to project on your bonds again and try to push him back in order to get your action back.
Yeah, I'm gonna project on a bond. I'm just gonna try and think of Carrie, Robert, Ophelia, like think of how like they're really the reasons I'm in Delta that I've stayed in Delta Green as long as I have. Just like push the darkness back one more day, so they like can continue to like be safe, be happy. I just keep that in mind as I grit my teeth and just fight like hell.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and let's see. This will be this will be a spend of willpower to be able to get that. So go ahead and roll for your power.
All right. 45.
All right. So that's gonna go ahead and do it. So how much are you spending off that to regain sanity?
How much? This
So-
is one of the areas of the game where I'm not that familiar with it.
Okay, so yeah, this is a little bit new for us on that one. So I'm going to say basically you can choose to burn off as much as you want in this case right now to basically gain that sanity back, so or that control. So
All right. Can I burn off? Should I? Do I have to burn it off all from one bond, or can I distribute the loss equally among all three bonds?
I'm going to say I will actually house rule this right now since it's a family for the moment and then we're almost done. This you can split it for a little bit. So if you want,
Okay.
as you're burning those memories.
I will distribute. How about 3 across all 3 bonds for 9 total? How does that sound?
That's fine. So in this case, this is that one. So you're keeping in control of that. All right. Now here is your choice. You basically know your mind is in this one. It is stable. It is safe. That moment you go through because you're seeing this, the whatever it is choosing to show you something. And it actually shows you the image of a sad. If this, what happens, what it thinks is going to happen, is that your partner Harold will go over is going to basically become the host for this is it what do you see as a large insect crawling out of the head of the corpse and implanting itself within him
Oh,
and
Jesus
slowly
Christ.
becoming that and then it's like completing a plan that not only in it's like that not only enslaves other people like your friend was enslaved and these poor people are in their minds but also creates a power source that will eventually will eventually cascade the entire earth in what you see as a black hole. It was overwhelming if not for the fact that you decided to sacrifice some of those bonds. Now you don't that's like but it's like this is the voice tells you that this is the most likely scenario. This is what has been projected as that time frame and that if he keeps it buried he can keep that from happening and give you more time. Now choice will be up to you in this case since since Harold is going to be rushing to this. Are you choosing to go ahead with this plan or to assist your friend and
Oh my
trust
God.
in this?
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is not an easy choice. Uh, can I take a few minutes to think about it, or do you want to rush me into
No.
a decision?
This one's if you have the time, we can do this. I have no problem. So, any questions you have so far, Marco?
Well, it's understandable. I hope that I can explode this stuff, and I told him to shoot me if I get crazy, so I'm down with the plan, whatever it goes. I don't trust the alien, but I don't know about it. So
Oh my god. I'm gonna help Harold for now, but at the slightest sign that something is about to go alien in this at the slightest sign that anything is about to go full chest burster, I'm gonna put him down like a rabid dog.
Okay.
I'm
so
sorry, Harold, but that's the way it is.
All right, so you've chosen this one. The voice says that very sadly you've made your choice. I will no longer force your hand, and you just feel it recede. So it is gone, but you definitely feel that voice will be echoing in your mind for years to come. So, all right, Harold, last move. So this will be, you've made the point right here. So I'm gonna say this is a final demolitions roll. You did. I would say since you prepared for this right now, the last one, and you made your last one, you get a +10 to make sure it's planted precisely, and then we'll make your roll from there. So go ahead and do that.
oh. 40. Yes.
14. All right. So how do you place this package of C4? So
Basically close to the head.
okay, so I'll say that you're. What happens is you get over there, you see the woman is basically going over there, and you don't need to see sanity rolls in this case because you know that what you are seeing in this case has been what's speaking to your mind. This god awful, what looks like a dog-sized yellow jacket somehow pulling itself out of this corpse's head.
Oh Jesus!
It should not fit in there. It should not be in there, but it is looking at both of you, and you can almost sense that it's hungry in some way. And but at that moment, you
Please
throw it in. It just attaches itself to the lid, and this is going to be an athletics roll to get out of the way before it goes off.
For both of us?
No, I'm going to say, Trenton, you're far away enough so you're keeping cover, and you were in your debate. So this is only going to be for Harold to get the hell out of the way.
Well, I died happy. 86.
86. So yeah, let me take a look, but I'm pretty sure. So
I mean, if it's down, I might be covered, but I still get the damage. So.
yeah, no, that oh yeah, damage will be there somewhere. We just have to take a look at what. So yeah, that's yeah. So let's see, 50% lethality.
50? Shit.
15 so percent
Okay.
lethality. But yeah, that's I'm gonna be nice on this one. Go ahead and make one more luck check, high or low.
High.
High, okay.
9.
9.
59.
59. So all right. So this is what happens. You manage to get you throw it down, but you just don't have the energy going back from it, and it explodes behind you, and you, by some miracle, are left with 1. But this is a permanent damage that will be going forward for this. So on all of this, so strength, constitution are almost halved if you get to a hospital in time. So, but you were off of that. Trenton, you see this explosion go off.
Worth
and,
it.
and manage to get back to your partner just in time to see that he is a bleeding mass from the explosion that he has caused. But the other last thing that you both hear before just utterly passing out from mental exhaustion and physical exhaustion is an unholy screeching coming from the hole that had come through there, and you just that slowly dies off into the night. So, both of you wake up in actually back. You wake up at one of the other local that's like hospitals under heavy guard.
Oh shit.
So they It's like your handler is there, not really saying a lot of words to you. Harold, we got to go through both of your assessments right now, telling you that asking for full debriefs once you are able to talk. So Trenton, usually that's more of your job at this point, since Harold is kind of out of it for a little bit. How much detail do you give?
Uh, as much as I can remember. So basically, I just my defensive actions basically boils down to considering the considering like the totality of the situation, the sum of all the various facts presented. We decided as the agents on the ground, as those closest to the situation, that urgent immediate action was required, and we could not wait for a cleanup crew.
Okay. So, and are you divulging the information for your informant contact?
You mean that guy outside the storage facility?
Yes.
Yes, I'm divulging that too.
And when he talked to you in the graveyard as well?
Yep, full disclosure.
Okay.
Oh.
So, all right. They said that they basically take all the information down. They uh, pretty much tell once you until you'll be able time to rest, both of you. Cur- and once you're able to heal up, you do find that your lives do change in a couple other different ways. Harold, you find out that once you've gone through, you found out because of your injuries, it will take a long time of physical therapy to basically heal up as much as you can. But you have been specifically put on a task force, uh, basically going around any information specific related to Severin Aerospace. But that means that you are in at best now, a desk job in a dark basement where not a lot of people talk to you or look at you because there's a lot of C4 scarring there. So,
I have voice in my head. I'm never alone.
yeah, as for you, Trenton, you are less of the clean bill of health, but you do wake up a lot of the nights right now feeling as though you've seen the end of the world and it's not pretty and you've just barely avoided it and you don't know where the other threat's coming from because you have this other voice telling you that your species days are numbered regardless. But divulging all the information that you did, you were actually transferred out and put over into another program, which is called which is a covert project under the company named Transponder. So, and every once in a while, when you're called in for missions, you're actually just kind of don't remember it. It's kind of at least a little bit weird. You remember that fuzzy, staticky feeling over your eyes and mouth and ears, but you don't really remember much that comes out of it too. But they tell you that you're a valuable asset, and you're kept as comfortable as possible, but under close surveillance, as is your family. So,
All right.
all right, but that pretty much is the end of Gone But Not Forgotten. So, questions, comments, suggestions?
That was a fun one. I like
Okay,
it.
so to give you the background on that, yeah, Jack, you hit that on the nail head, and I was kind of worried for a bit. So, uh, uh, yeah, you were dealing with the Sean, an insect from Shuggoth, Shuggai. So, which Mark, are you familiar with them?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, if you've read Delta Green Countdown, they were the insects who could actually infiltrate humans and minds and basically coerce or force them into cases. And Alex Shelton was actually an that's like one of the hosts for them. Although he actually did not know it as much. He was one of the unwilling. It's like the unknowing host, where it only tried to influence him ever so slightly in certain ways after Severin Aerospace fell. So, and this one ended up managed to escaping by getting into this guy since he was a contractor or a consultant and had been hiding out, trying to complete his plans, which in this case was another signals responder to call to their mothership or the hive ship that is from dimensionally displaced from our own dimension and also trying to collect other people around. in order to become Sean thralls. But the problem ended up with him is that when he was working on one of the thrusters, it's like his host was killed, and he was exposed to enough the trauma of that and being exposed to enough uh, solar radiation through the head injury when he was pulled out, put it in a kind of stasis. So by the time it woke up, it was in Alex's corpse, and it could not get out. It for some reason did not have the energy enough to actually phase out of his body. So it ended up calling out to anybody else who had a close enough connection to him, or within the recent years, and that actually ended up being, again, you, the random ones, whoever rolled on their luck, and the other consultants that worked there. His ex-wife is another one of those that could have, if you decided to take that story path, but it would have been much weaker, and that would have actually give you more clues to the Sean influence, that she would have said he just wasn't the same person, and it would have given the clues towards that. So and obviously you had the our friend Yithian, who decided to drop in so and basically tell you, don't do these guys, because it looks like the future is going to be bad if you screw the pooch on this one. So but
Yeah.
that was the basic plot of this one, just to see, like,
But we did it anyway.
oh, sorry,
We did it anyway.
you did it anyway, so you don't know what the future holds in this case. That one is there. But yeah, I came up with the idea of, like, what if you could do like a James. Oh, I'm trying to think of the Ryan Reynolds. Well, or any story where somebody's trapped in a coffin, but basically use that as the investigation. So, and you did have a couple other options for this one. So, if you had gathered enough information you could have just reported that to Delta Green, and they would have basically put a stake on it and said, "Do not touch." So, or they could have dug it up, depending on what you said of that as well. So, but yeah, that's the basic long and short of this one. So,
All right. I do have a question about one thing though.
yeah.
What would have happened if we just left it alone? Like,
As far as you know, if you left it alone, the two things would have happened. If you reported it in and the connections, Delta Green would have gone around quietly, rounding up anybody else who had a connection, a close enough connection, and they deemed it, testing them to see if they had the same problem as Charles or Carl, and then just releasing them if they didn't, or putting them on antipsychotic medications to block the Sean's one. Or if Delta Green didn't do anything at all, the Yithian would have gone around taking care of business. So,
all right.
yeah. So, Nevo, did you like the scenario overall, guys, or just?
I liked it. It was like I really liked that. For me, what I really liked was the way the Yithian presented me with that really hard choice at the end, as to like, do I let Harold go through with blowing up the body and maybe become the new host, or do I just put him down right now and follow the Yithian's instructions pretty much, and for the greater good, etc.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you like that too, because they had that's something I've stolen from Ross, is just the impossible choice, that you know something's going to come, you just don't know what the full weight of that decision is going to be. So
I like those hard choices, man. Keep doing them.
all right, and any questions for me, Marco?
No, I had a lot of fun.
No.
I mean, all the scenario remember me of All I Need Is Kill, when the guy gets infected by one of the antenna, and then he has to kill all the antenna before killing the main one. Otherwise, the cycle repeats.
Oh, you're right. So that's thank you, because I've actually I need to actually either watch Edge of Tomorrow or read All You Need Is Kill. So
Read the book. Is way better.
What a
The
parasite.
book or the comics is way better. They changed completely the end in the American version. It's not as good.
Okay, cool. So, well, no, I'll definitely be able to do that too. So, but no, thank you guys for playing as well. We're going to end the recording here. So, everybody, thank you for listening to this. If you're donating to the Patreon, please keep donating to us. We love producing content for you, and we'll see you later.
Later.